Hey, what's up, guys? Like I said in recent videos, I will be changing my truck to run on Rotella T6 5W40 because the winter months are coming up. So I figured I'd talk a little bit about synthetic versus conventional diesel oil. This is probably one of the funniest things. If you want to watch good arguments online, go check out some forums and watch people fight over this stuff. Um, Not to say who's right or wrong, I'm just kind of trying to show you guys some data onto why I'm making that decision. So basically, I got some specs for you. On the left, you'll see in yellow, Rotella T6 5W40. On the right, Mopar 15W40. Just so you guys know, Mopar is most likely made by Valvoline. I can't confirm or deny that, but I'm assuming Valvoline kind of got their wing under there, because if you look at the Valvoline diesel oil bottles, they'll have the big C on there, and most likely Mopar is probably Valvoline. I've heard of Valvoline being used in other areas as well, but I know for a fact the new Cummins, when they ship them, they come with Valvoline oil in them, 1540. So, but just talk about a few things. Mainly, the biggest thing to think about is temperature. And I apologize that all the specifications are in Celsius, but I switched some of them over for you. But basically, 40 C is, I don't know what, 70 degrees Fahrenheit, and 100 C is about what your engine's going to operate at if everything's running correctly. So, right here, we got some specification. All these specifications for viscosity. Don't worry about the millimeters squared per second, I think that is. Must be like a drain style test. I don't exactly remember how that works, but all these are from their site. So this is a Valvoline 98 and 14 specification, and Rotella, the 87 and the 14.2 are from Shell's website. The values in red are values I calculated just by like the trend line, so you guys could show a little more information towards like the winter months and how more it would affect. I couldn't find any data that went that cold, but just to show you, this is the change right here. So Mopar's in red and Rotella T6 is in blue. So as you can see, at 100 degrees C, they are nearly identical, and that's why they're given the 40 and the API rating. So obviously the blue is thinner, it has a less changing trend line. So what this is going to affect is your higher viscosity. The 1540 conventional is obviously thicker at colder temperatures. Negative 20 is, I don't know exactly what it is. It's probably like 14 or 10 degrees below or something like that. So basically what this is your viscosity is going to be thicker in the conventional. So when you start it up, it's going to take longer to get oil around all through your engine. I mean, a big diesel engine is going to take a long time to get to the turbo. That's my main concern. As you start it up, the turbo has an extreme heat source, so it'll heat up extremely fast. And if you're shoving cold oil in it, that could be a big wear item. That could be a lot of, I'm sure that's a big reason why turbos go out on these trucks, is people not doing proper heating up and cooling down procedures. I will probably have a video coming out on that, just some things that I recommend doing to keep your diesel on the road longer, keep them running correctly. But like I said, the Mopar is obviously thicker. A couple other things that are good to know, just good things if you want to visualize what's going on in your engine. The cold pour point is for Rotella, negative 42C or negative 44F for Fahrenheit. Mopar is negative 30C or negative 22 Fahrenheit. So obviously negative 44, unless you're in Alaska, you're probably not going to see that number very common. And usually if it was, it'd probably be a wind chill value, not the temperature of the oil sitting protected in your engine. Negative 22, however, is a more common number. I've been in as low as probably negative 35 here in Michigan during a cold winter, and I did drive a vehicle that day. It was my old Suburban. Poor thing. But basically what cold pour point is basically when your oil starts to become a semi-solid consistency, which basically is not going to lubricate well at all. It's going to be extremely hard on your engine. It's going to wear immensely. So I wouldn't recommend going any lower than that, or even just for me, I would stay away from that number as far as possible. That's a big reason why I'm switching to the 5W40. The Flashpoint, pretty similar. I mean, 3 degrees, that's not going to do anything. Flashpoint is basically where your oil could start in a burn if it had an ignition source, which very unlikely. But I'll talk a little bit more about that in a different video. You know, when it comes to EGTs and oil coking and stuff like that. So it's all very important. Price, I mean, it's $4 a gallon difference. And a lot of people probably freak out because they say, hey, it's Mopar oil. That's what Cummins recommends. Well, like I said earlier, when Valvoline endorses them, they kind of get a little bit of incentive to recommend Mopar 1540. So, I mean, obviously they're going to work together and make a little money that way. But the big thing you need to look for when you look into oils, if you want to research it as immensely as I did, is look for the Cummins certification. The Cummins certification specification is 20081. So if you research whatever oil you want to run, like I want to run 5W40, if you want to run something else, you know, 10W30, whatever, look for that certification. If it says 20081, then Cummins and Ram should back that oil in the case of any damage or anything, because it's a certified oil. I know a lot of people like to use those special oils like AMS oil and stuff like that. I'm sure AMS oil probably has this specification, but some of the smaller companies, like I said, I would just look for that specification. They're going to do the research. They're going to test what can run in their engine. So any oil that has that cert is going to be safe to run in your engine. So basically, that's why I'm going with T6. And other small things that I don't really want to touch into, like oxidation and shear properties. Basically, T6 is going to heat up a lot faster. It's going to be a lot less wear, because I put a ton of heat cycles on my truck, because I mean, it's barely getting hot by the time I get to work, because I live like 8 miles away. So like I said, that's just some comparisons into 5W40 against 1540. So if you have any questions, leave them in the comments. I'll do my best to answer them. And if you have any information that suggests that I am making an incorrect adjustment here, or if you find a different oil, please let me know in the comments, and I'll try to research it and update you. So thanks.